So moving on to Azure services. So first, if you want to see what is Azure, you can go to azure.com and like if there is any updates or change in that geography. So this is what we have, the different data centers as of now. And as you see, Central India, I think it is still under announced availability zone, but yeah, we may have it soon. So talking about the pricing, or let's say what are the different plans available, Azure do provide free services. So for example, if you are starting for the first time on Azure, you can go for free service, which will be having a 12 months free service for you. And it will also give you $200 as a credit. So in this $200, you can use any of the services like paid services, whatever they are having, and your credit card will not be charged for that. Along with this, it has 25 always free services, which you can export this page. And in that, you will see what are the different completely free and 12 months free charges. So for me, I have already created an account with Azure and my free services is already over. So what I'll do is I'll go on portal.azure.com, which is where the all the setup is happening. And this is how it looks once you move inside. So this is when we click on the all the services. So this is different services what Azure is offering. So as I said, I have just categorized into 4 things, but we have a lot of things. So virtual machines, SQL database, static web pages, monitor resource, ADs, and everything. So when you see on the left hand side, this is where you see all the different services which is provided. And as of now, it is not that confusing, or not that much how much we have in AWS. So but still the services from Azure are very well, they are very good. And going on the subscription tab, when we go to overview, and the main thing is you can also search from here, or you can go from the left hand side. So as I said, on subscription, after our 1 month is over, or 200 rupee $200 credit is over, you have to add your credit card information, and that will be pay as you go plan for you. So in case if you're just trying to understand the application, and if you need more than a month, like more than $200, then you can go select this pay as you go. Another subscription offer which is available, where if we are committing for more than a year or something, then we get a good discount. So in case if you are sure that you have to move on to Microsoft Azure for your services hosting or anything, then you can go for long-term payment as well. But as of now, I will be on pay as you go subscription. And in once you're if you are on the free services, of course all the application wherever your credit is available will be visible to you. But in case if your subscription is expired, in order to run in Microsoft Azure, you all do need to have one subscription. Like it should be any one should be there, either free or paid. So I have just started with the pay as you go. And whenever you are selecting or whenever you are creating your account, it will ask for your credit card information, and it may also deduct 2 rupees just to validate your credit card. But unless you are doing anything, or if you're using any resources, it will not be charged for you. Okay, now let's move on to our practical. Okay, so as I said, we have all resource group resources and all those things. So for this, what I will use is what we need to do, we need to create a web service. Like our application is a web service. So what I'll do, I'll go into app services, and in this I have already created a one, but we will be creating again a new app services. So how this works is, you will be getting a FTP account, where if you would like to connect with your local FTP, you can connect and push your code. Or second option it gives is, you can select your GitHub repo. So what I have done is, I have my GitHub repo made here. So this is my GitHub repo, what I have. And once we are creating the app, we will be adding it. Okay, so now let's go through the steps, and I'll update you as we go. Okay, so this is first thing, we are creating a web app. It will ask you for the subscription. As I said, in order to add any new resources, you all should have a subscription. Active subscription is required. So in case your free is over, you have to first go and select pay as you go, and then you will be able to add anything. Now this is the resource group. As I said, resource is a collection of resources, and in any service you create, you must have a resource. So here, let's create a new one. I will create the new resource, and I will name it as Laravel group. Any name you can give it. It is not having any restrictions on that. So next is we have to give the instance name. Now, as I am on pay as you go instance, and we will be taking the very basic this size, means we will be not going on the production level of the application, but just to demonstrate how the things are working, we will be using a simple application. So what Azure provides us is it will give us the instance detail, for example your DNS name, or the temporary name. So when we go to laravelapps.azurewebsites.net, your application will be visible there. So it's not like AWS where we have a lengthy name which is having the zone and all those things. Okay, so two options it gives: either we can update the code, or it also allows us to add the Docker container. I'll stick with the code. As I said that I will be connecting my GitHub repo, and we will be updating. So runtime stack, we will be doing PHP. These are the different options available. Yeah, so we have .NET. In case if you want this web app to have a .NET application, you can install .NET, Java, Node, and here is what I will be selecting: PHP, Python, Ruby. So these are the different options, but for now we will stick to PHP. And you don't need to install PHP and everything. This will help. This will keep everything ready for you. So you just install PHP. Maybe in order to install Laravel, we may need to install certain requirements. For example, Composer we may need to install, and then it's all good. Okay, so we click on code. I have selected the runtime. The Linux operating system is what we are looking for. We don't need Windows. And this is where the region falls. So as I have updated you, there are different regions. If I click on Asia, here it is, East Asia and Southeast Asia. So you can select, if you want Southeast Asia, you can select Southeast Asia. And here, the SKU size, what we see is free F1. So sometimes we do see that there are different options. In case if you wish to create a new Linux plan, that also you can create, which will give you that what configuration or what in which location you have to keep. So unlike AWS, you will not get that option on the top where you have to first select your region, and based on that you're getting. But this is where we are selecting the region, and this will go. So I'll going on next. I'll just quickly move through this. I think we will not be going into much, but yeah, this also provides a CI/CD in case if you are looking for automated continuous integration and deployment. Then by default in our free account, we can configure that as well. We will not be doing, but this is just for information. If you wish to add, we don't want any application performance, although there is an option you can add. I will add tag app name. This is all just like what we have on AWS, just to name or label your updates, label your resources, so that in case if you want to update, change, or anything, you can do. So this is a review. On this review, if in case you are looking for the free system or free setup, always make sure that you have the SKU free here, or else in case if your subscription is having any charge, for example you have selected a resource in which there is a charge applicable, so it will be visible to you here. So in case if you have forgot any settings or you're not aware what settings you need to do, so make sure that you review this tab properly, and once you feel that yeah, whatever configuration you're looking for is already available here, so then you can go ahead and click on create. So this will take some time in order to get up and running. Meanwhile, anyone, if you have any questions, we can take few questions, and then when this resource is available, I will connect my GitHub repo on that, and then I'll show you how easy it is. Like, it's just one click. You just click on the GitHub repo. It will automatically take which branch of your code you wish to push on your application, and it will be done. Sorry. It will be done for you. So there's no much hiccups in this. Yeah, so we got that the deployment is succeeded. You can see on the right, we got this step, and we can go to resource. Okay, so this is the new resource. Laravel apps is what I have created just now. And the URL you see, if you go visit this URL, you will see the default page for the Windows Azure thing, in which we will be installing our Laravel app soon, so that we will see our Laravel page. Okay, so if you see Laravel apps, laravelapps.azurewebsites.net, this is the URL what you get when you are getting no long tricky or IP address and something which is like AWS, but yeah, this is something different. So here we can see it gives us a lot of information as well. That is like if you want to see how your data is going, how is the load on the server, so on and so forth. So all those things is visible here. Okay, you can come on to overview anytime and you can see how the things is working. Now our main target here is to have at this place we are planning to have our Laravel application. So as I said, uh, this gives us two styles. If you want to install your application, we are giving with the two choices. One choice is you can have the FTP credentials. So if you click on the deployment center, this deployment center classic, we will use the app build services, which is by default. This is some open source tool, which is again used by Microsoft, and source code is available directly where we will get the live terminal and all. So we will use that option, and I'll click on continue. And this is where it will show us the summary, and once we click finish, the code from our this application this thing will be updated on our new application, new Laravel setup. So again, this will take some time. It will be fetching data, it will be adding our information into the new URL, the service app, web app what we have used, and once it is ready, we will be able to SSH into the application, and we will be able to run some PHP commands if you wish to add. Meanwhile, when this is happening, I'll just share you what all options we have on the left hand side. So here you can see we have IAM as like access control overview. Uh, some options may not be visible. For example, if you see web JSON, web jobs, push, and MySQL app, these options are not available because we are on the free plan. So as I said, being on the free plan, certain we may have to just look for the few free options which are available. But yeah, as soon as you're ready to move on to your paid plans, these all options will be available for you, and you can configure those things for your application. So this is what we have in this. As of now, we will not be connecting with the database, but as this build is running, let me go into the all services and database as well. So I'll just let you know the steps how we can do. Okay, so this is one database what I've created, but let's create another one. So one more important point, in order to interact with Azure, so this is one thing where we have the GUI thing where you can go click select. Another option in order to interact is the Cloud Shell. So if you see on the top, this icon particular is for the Cloud Shell. And when you click the Cloud Shell, for example, if we are on our on this service, and when you click on the Cloud Shell, it will give you the SSH access directly into that, so you don't need PAM file or download that and connect it. And again, in this bash, we do have two options, bash and PowerShell. So if you are comfortable with PowerShell, you can choose PowerShell, or you can choose the default, which is bash. Okay, and so this is the web is the one way. Another way is there is a terminal command line utility, which is AZ. So in case if you are working on Linux or something, you can install that service, which is AZ login. When you do this AZ, if you see here, this is what Azure CLI using. So in this particular terminal, we have to use AZ or AZ, and then you will be able to interact after login and everything. You will be able to interact or create your resources based on the command line. But just to keep it simple, we are using the GUI. Okay, so here this is, as I said, this is SQL database what we are trying to build up here. I think I have changed the service. Let me see if our Laravel application is ready or not. Laravel apps. So you can see that was the dashboard, and on that dashboard we can see all the services and application whatever we have added. Okay, we have to go to deployment center classic. Okay, the build is still running. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can put those, or else I'll just update you how to create a SQL database. Okay. So again, we have to select the subscription, which is always required, and the resource group. So for this resource group, as I have selected Laravel group, I will select Laravel here, so that all this application, the web app as well as this database, they both are into the same group. And if I wish to close or apply some policies, password, anything, I can just apply to Laravel group, and that will be applied to both the resources. As of now, two resources is what we have. Now database name is what you need to define, what database name you wish to have for your application, and these are certain best practices what you should have. No name, like name and all those things. And we need to create a new server. So I have used the earlier server. I'll just create a new server for this. Now this server name, if you see here on the right hand side, just like what we have got here, the Azure Web Services, the a temporary URL, we will get again a temporary string in order to connect with our application. So let's say if you give Laravel again, or let's say Laravel DB, server admin, I will give Laravel. Password will be make sure whatever username you are giving, that is the server login name and password should not have same thing. And here again we have the location. So if you observe, last time we have selected Southeast Asia. So sometimes you may get an error here for the location. So sometimes some resources are not available, even the free ones. So always make sure that whatever location you're having, and this particular feature works exactly the same as how AWS is working, that we should be having the same location, so that the latency will be less. It will not stop you to have different one, but in order to stop the latency, we should always have it on the same one. So I'll click on OK. So Laravel DB will be created, and we will have our new server as Laravel DB. Now here is compute and storage. So if you see, we have generation 5, 2 view cores, 32 GB, and this is actually a production level database. But as I will not be creating this, let's see what cost it will. It will be giving a lot of, this is very costly because this is the production level. But if you want to change it, you can configure database and you can change it. And this is the way it will look: hyperscale, business critical, how you would like to have. If you want basic, this all things will come forward, and it will give you what all things is also available. So DTU is something which is database transaction unit, in which the Azure is calculating. But as I said, we will not be creating this, but as I said, let's see how much cost we are getting that into the last screen. This will be very costly, but I'll show you. So we will be not creating it. So in next network, we need to create a public endpoint, and we should be allowing this to yes. There are no inbound outbound rules for now in this Azure, and I will be not taking the current IP address because mine is dynamic, so I don't want to get logged out. And if you have a private endpoint, you guys can add private endpoint as well. And we go to next part. We don't want any existing data. We'll keep the collation as it is. This is again a defender, which is a security tool which will check for how your application is doing, how your system is doing, which I will say not now as of this thing. And maintenance window. Maintenance window is actually for Azure. Azure is having certain windows in which they do perform the maintenance, and they are asking us which will be the default. So 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. is what we have selected as default. I'll leave this tag as it is because we are not creating. So you see here, 30,548 rupees something approx is the cost per month for this. The reason is because we are using the production grade database. Okay, so as I said, this is just for testing. But if I show you what another database what I've created here, So this is a simple one, a basic free one, the free basic tool which is there, and this is a server name and all those things, where I haven't done any elastic pooling. It's located in the West India, so on and so forth. And this gives me all the information, how my database is accessed, used, or something. Okay, cool. So I believe our app is up and running. So now if we come back on our Laravel apps, if you see here, it is success and active. So whatever source code I was having here, this source code has been copied into our application, and this particular message confirms it. Now, in order to connect with this, we will be doing SSH, and we don't have to use our terminal. There is no PEM file or something. So what I will go is, I'll go into SSH and we'll click on go. So on the same screen, like on the same web page, our SSH session will be starting up, and we will see that our Laravel code will be available here. So by default, you are in the home directory. If I just do ls, these are the different files available. Log file sites will go into sites, and www root is where the data is copied. So if you see here, I hope the structure of the Laravel structure is familiar. So this is how whatever application I have added is up and available on this. The source code is updated. I don't need to do anything. I just connected with my web. And the main thing is, I think I am not 100% sure, but in AWS, which service is there where we are doing, in that I think we are not getting the SSH access, but here we do have our SSH access available. So if you do PHP artisan, we will get the artisan commands, and if you do PHP -v, you will get the version as well. Okay, so I think we are. Hey, are we running out of time? Because so I think
Arun, we can we can do 10-15 more minutes, no problems.
10 to 10 minutes. Okay, so I'll just update you with the steps what we need to.
Sure.
So here you can see that we have this Laravel commands coming up. That means our Laravel is up and running. If you see, so we have PHP 7.4 installed here. Now, in order to have your application running, now if I go into this place and if I reload, this will not work as of now, because the main thing missing is the composer file. We need to install the composer here. That is not by default installed. So what you can do is you can just install the composer.far. We don't have to move it into composer the global way. You can download it and you can do composer install. And once you do composer install, and if we go here /, so our basic application is as of now hosted on the public path. So as you all know, our Laravel is where we are having the / public. So if you see, I hope all the Laravel people must remember this 500 server error, which says that this is somewhere catching our Laravel application. But I believe if I go and install composer, that may take some time in order to up and working, but let me try. Let's do that. Composer install. I'll just copy paste the commands directly. I hope we will. Yeah, so this copy, so that I think that way it will be a complete. So what I'll do is we will get the composer.far file here, right? So I will keep that composer.far in the same repo, in the same directory. I will do the composer install. And then one more setting what we need to do is, in order to remove our public path, so if we do this public, then it is coming. So for that also we need to add, because being this a web app, we are not given access for to change anything in the server. And this particular setup, whatever we are doing, this particular setup is Linux and Apache. So in Apache we need to change, we will be adding .htaccess file, and in that we will be adding the setup, so that the root directory is transformed from this root to the public one. Okay, so if you see here, if we run php composer.far, we have our composer far, and as of now this will do the installation work, whatever we need to do. So I think let's give it a 2 minutes. Meanwhile, as we are running out of time, if anyone is having any questions meanwhile, so feel free to shoot that. It may take some time, and once we have running, we will see that our basic Laravel first application will come. And then one last setup, what we need to do is we will be adding .htxs. And once we add that htxs and you go to this page, our default Laravel will be coming without the public domain. Yeah.
Yeah, Tarun. So I have a couple of questions to begin with.
Yeah.
So when we create a web app in Microsoft Azure, it doesn't
Yeah.
give you any configuration to select what web server we want, whether we want Apache or Nginx.
No,
That's not
no,
in our hands. Okay.
no. So
And it
this web app
always,
is just, sorry, go ahead.
and it always installs Apache by default.
Yes, this particular stack is defined as we have selected. So if you select .NET, Node or something, so it will install that package. But in this, we don't have option to choose the server, Apache or this thing, because this is like, ready to go. For example, if you want to start something directly, this is what we are doing. The same service, I am actually not recalling the name. In AWS, we have a service in which we have the same setup. We have to connect our git repo, and but in that I recall we don't get the SSH access. So in case if we want to clear the cache or artisan commands, we are not able to do. But in this, we are able to do. The only thing is this is ready to go where we don't have to install PHP or something. In case if you wish to go and install PHP, then what resource we need to take is we will be taking a simple VM. We will be taking a proper VM, and in that VM, we will be selecting Linux, and then we will be installing our PHP, SQL, Ajax, Nginx, everything. But this web app actually is like pre-configured. So if you need for PHP, it is pre-configured. You add your data, you add your repo, and as soon as you make any changes here, that will also be pulled. So as I said, CI/CD is also available, so that you can do.
Okay.
So if you want more control, then we need to go into this one, create VM. So here it will be like blank machine, and then you can do anything.
Okay. And on this web app, I see that when you SSH into it, it is showing root user. So does that mean
Yes.
we can install anything there, or we can't install anything? Can we install any Linux packages there?
You can install. For example, see, I have added this composer, and now if I want to push this composer into the global one, we can do. But
You can.
the Azure, the HTXS or Apache configuration, the basic configurations, that setup we don't have here. So
Okay.
it works on the basic setup, whatever they are providing with.
Okay. And with the SQL database that you created, did it create MySQL database, or what database engine did it create with?
It created MySQL, yes. So I think we have selected that option we are selecting. When we are selecting the resources, it will ask for the database. I'll get back on that. So when you click on database, there are different options given. I'll go into more service, general database. So if you see here, yeah, so these are all the databases.
Okay.
Right? CosmoDB, Azure. So I selected actually SQL database directly. And if you want MySQL, Azure database, so we have all different options. But as I selected SQL database, it gave me the SQL itself. So let's see. This is what I have created earlier. If you see overview, we should see some information here. I was trying to actually install this into my application and show that, but and I thought it maybe go too long, so I just focused on one thing. So this is SQL database. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. So here we have seen, see, I have installed, and we need to create env php artisan generate. And this public directory, I think it should start working. Yeah. Okay. So now we are reaching somewhere. Okay. Application key is added. Now this should come the base. Yeah. Okay. So what we have done is we have just set up our, so within some 20-25 minutes we have this application. We install it in Azure, and the only thing is we need to set up this public file. So what we will be doing is we need to go here, we need to create one htxs file. which I will copy from my old one. I'll create nano.htaccess, paste the code. You need to do certain styling here, else this will not work. This should be in one line. This should be in line, and this here, and this. So generally, what we are instructing the oh, I made a mistake in the name access. Okay, I'll change that. So what we are doing is we are just asking that instead of working from the root directory, please go and add public and then add. Okay, so if you see, we have a wrong spelling here, which I will update it right away. So mv.htaccess2 dot sorry. Okay, so now if we see, we should have our htaccess file here. Okay, now if we again go and run this page, we should have a default Laravel application coming. Yeah, so this is what we have now. If you wish to go further and install the database, so if you remember in the database, it will give you the connection strings. Let me show that. Just 2 minutes more I'll take, and so in this database, you go and you click on connection strings. So when you click on this connection strings, it will show you what are the URL paths and things you need to do. You just go ahead in your env, add those data, and your application will be talking to the MySQL database as well. So this is what we have got. So this is a basic setup, as I said, for Laravel. And next step is like if you want to change it to your URL, as I said, as we are on the free plan, so that option may not be available to us. But once you are moving on to paid plan, where you need to go is scale up, which is we need to scale up or change the plan. So as of now, we are into dev or testing, and this is F1 plan is what we are currently in. So you have to click on production, and as you click on production, you will get this option. And here, if you see, custom domains or SSL bindings and auto scalings and everything will come up. So this is how you can be migrating this URL into your application URL. Cool. So yeah, this is what I had to present everyone, and as you all see, like this is what we are getting the Laravel application now. Like if you make any changes, as the one thing, one change or one benefit what I found here is we have this SSH access, which for Laravel application we do need. For example, if you are doing any push on the server, so sometimes we do need to clear the cache, we need to run the caching or composer optimizing. So this SSH is very much required, which I believe in AWS we are using file uploader. I'm missing that name. So in that service, I think we are not getting the SSH access. So if you need an SSH access, you need to go, SSH access. You need to go into the virtual machines, and you have to create your own Linux and install and all those things, and then you get the SSH, like which is the PEM file. But here you have everything on web, so you don't need to worry about downloading, keeping it safe and something. You just keep your application account safe, and you will be able to access Microsoft Azure from anytime. And here we have a lot of information as well, which is very easy to go. Like if you once you have time, or as I would encourage everyone, you can go into the free plan, what I have shared with you earlier. So you can go into the free plan, and that will give you $200 of credit. So that will always be helpful for you anytime. So whatever experiments you want to do, you can do in that.
I have a question, Tarun. The dev test plan that you showed, is it free for a lifetime or free for only the first year?
First year, 12 months. So the Azure service is whatever we are having. That is the one which we have taken, that is free for 1 year. So if you go into free account, so what I have taken is web service. So which will be coming up. So the one which you are saying, the Linux virtual machine, this is where we will get a complete complete control on how we want to install, what we want to install. This is like actual Linux machine, but what we have taken is app service. No, this is app service. Yeah, this is always free. Sorry, I was not aware. This is always free. Yeah, we have taken the web app service, right? So yeah, this is always free. And this function is like Lambda. I thought that is paid, but yeah, I'm happy to know this is all free. But yeah, you need to take the paid plans. If you
Yeah.
want to have this URL, if you're okay with this, that's fine. But as I think this is 1 GB RAM, maybe 25 GB or hard disk or something. So if that suffice, I think we can continue. This is a completely free service. I was not knowing.
Yeah.
That's good to
This
know.
is
So
good
this is
for quick
completely free.
demos and test sites or
Correct.
like that. This is very good for that. And I also noticed
Yeah.
that when you created the web app server, it had all the required extensions required by Laravel.
Yes.
We didn't need to install
Yeah.
anything. So all the common
Correct.
PHP extensions, PHP packages, they were already there.
Right. So that's what I said. Like this, the difference in that AWS and this is very fast to go. For example, we started from scratch. Maybe 30 minutes it took at the max. So whenever we are working, we already have our source code into GitHub or Bitbucket. So it has options for GitHub and Bitbucket both. I hope you have observed that as well. So once you connect that and once you commit, your code will be up and running in no time. So for the quick demos or whatever you said, this is a very good choice. We can leverage this. And this is completely free, so which is even more good. I was not aware, but that's good to know. Okay, and this function is just like Lambda functions which we have, but yeah, this is app service, so this is completely free. And I believe for basic application, for demos and all, I think this can work super great. We don't have to do anything. While the SQL database, what we have taken, that is under, I think, free. That has a one plan which is free for 12 months, and then you will be charged.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess there are no questions from the audience. So
Okay.
let's call it a day.
Cool.
Okay,
No
Tarun.
problem. Thank you.
Thank you
everyone.
for showing us how to run Laravel applications on Azure. It was really helpful.